Ooh. Hi, I'm Kevin Vonesper. I'm a video and audio professional from the New York City area. I run Vonesper Studios and specialize in live events, music videos, content for your brands, live and portrait photography. Did I mention music? If you need a jingle to make you tingle, I can do that for you. Most recently, I have been promoting my documentary project called The Life and Slimes. There it is. Sorry, spoiler alert. Our guest tonight is going to be Goddess Charlotte Lashes. I've been promoting my project, The Life and Slimes of Dukey Flyswatter and Haunted Garage. And now, I'm still learning to do this on the fly. VonPod, that's what we're here to do. I've created my own show. This is my new live show experiment. VonPod, this is the show where I promote myself while talking to a guest. If you feel like you would be a fun guest, reach out. And what you just saw as an intro was a kind of a follow-up from last week. That was my band Putty Root from, oh God, I guess we started in 2002 with my guest from last week, Valerie. I forgot to play that clip last week, so I thought I'd play it here. That was a recording of an old song. No, it was a new recording of an old song synced up to footage of us playing when we were in college. One of those shows we were opening for mindless self-indulgence. Good times. Maybe we'll talk about that at some point. Anyways, I wanted to also say I've been calling this this series talks about Dukey and other stuff to piss your parents off. And today we're gonna have Goddess Charlotte. We'll get to her momentarily, but I wanted to explain the title of the show. This is an old Haunted Garage demo tape from the 90s called Songs About Satan and Other Stuff to Piss Your Parents Off. So this is a play on that. And okay, today we have a special guest, Goddess Charlotte Lashes, the Kinky Barbie Domme. She is a goddess, sadist, sovereign, the West Coast elite leather dom and fetish queen. As a dominatrix practicing on the West Coast of the US, most especially in Seattle and the San Francisco Bay Area, her allure weakens your resolve with every move, every glance, every utterance. She teases and tortures, smelling your ego and reprogramming you to be the best version of yourself. Let's welcome Goddess Charlotte Lashes. Hello.
Hi. Well, hello there, Kevin. Thanks for having me on your show this week. I'm so
Thank
excited.
you for coming. I'm excited for your unique perspective on the topics at hand. How are you doing? How did
Oh,
I do on my intro? Was that good?
that was a pretty good intro. Also, that was pretty good music. And
Oh, thank you.
I just feel like there were a couple of years that I missed some pretty good, live music. So it's nice to be able to catch up with your footage.
Yeah, well, that's really old footage, although we are planning a comeback. I don't know if anyone saw last week's show, but we figured out that N January will be the 20th anniversary of our first show of that band Putty Root. We only did 4 shows, but our first was opening for, the industrial band Bile, which is one of my favorite bands at the time,
That's
and our
awesome.
last show was opening for Mindless Self-Indulgence. And you have some kind of history with them?
Oh, I don't have any history with them
Not history.
specifically, but I just remember being a fan, and, like, some of the people I was living with, well, I lived in Davis, California for a little bit, and if anybody was around there in the early aughts, it was a really great place to be. There were a lot of really great bands coming through Davis
Who
and
else did you see?
Sacramento. I saw So Many White Tigers play live. They're a really cool noise,
Hmm,
kind of experimental thing. I saw so many really great bands. I actually went to a really great hardcore show in Sacramento.
who did you
I
see?
saw Zayo perform. I know that's maybe there's a lot of like
I'm
crossover.
not as familiar with them. I know the name, but I'm not as familiar.
Yeah, and then I got to see a really great As I Lay Dying and the Black
Mm.
Dahlia Murder. Oh my God, I was really
Oh,
into metal for a minute there, and I still
well,
really enjoy it. But I got
the
to see them.
singer died this week.
Wait, of
Black Dahlia murder.
oh, I didn't know that.
Sorry
Oh.
to bring you guys down early.
Well, it's really unfortunate because like, the sound was really good, and I really liked them, and I liked their T-shirt art. I had a T-shirt that had,
Metal
like,
t-shirts are the best,
speculum.
aren't they?
Yeah, but it was great because it was just a simple speculum, and and everyone's like, "What's that?" So, of course, it makes you think. Metal shirts, they make you think.
So, is that what led you into what you do? Black
Well,
Dahlia model
the Black
murder t-shirts?
Um, well, honestly, like, I'd always been kind of a weirdo growing up. My mom introduced me to the Rocky Horror Picture Show when I was 13, and I started going in high school a lot.
Did you ever do the show?
I
The live
did.
show?
I
Who
did.
did you play?
I got to be one of the party guests, most notably the one with the big black pompadour and the opera glasses. That was very me. And she also has like like a gray vest underneath, and she looks, like ready for the opera. But,
You
I didn't
know,
actually get to play.
I'm still a live version of the Rocky Horror Picture Show. I
Are you
am
really?
ashamed to say.
Ooh, we're gonna have to put a nice big V on your
Yeah, I know.
forehead and
I've
take
heard.
you to a show. So,
I don't
it's
know how I've missed it. Like, in all these underground cultures, obviously that's what this show is kind of about. I've
yeah.
somehow missed that one. Like, I guess, I was always a Phantom of the Paradise guy, kind of guy.
Oh, yeah, yeah, like Phantom of the Opera. I know you like Phantom of the Opera. I know
Do you
that's
know
like
Phantom of the Paradise?
I don't think I know this one. What is
Oh, Phantom of the Paradise is um, it's it predates the Rocky Horror movie, but I think maybe not the show. But it was a glam, like, rock opera movie about Phantom of the Opera,
Oh,
directed by Brian De Palma,
I gotta see this.
and
This
and
sounds good.
Paul Williams plays the devil in it, and also wrote all the music. And
This
if you
sounds
don't know,
great.
he's the guy who wrote, uh, what's the Kermit song? The Rainbow
Oh, why are there so many songs
the
about
Rainbow
rain?
Connection.
Yes.
Yeah, the guy who wrote the Rainbow Connection plays the devil in the glam rock and roll epic Phantom of the Paradise.
He's well-rounded.
Yeah, it's like Rocky Horror meets Phantom of the Opera, but
I'm into
I'm
it.
from Canada.
Oh, well, that's why I haven't heard of it. Like, it's sad. There's so many wonderful
So
pieces of
we'll
media
trade. You'll take
in
me to
Canada.
a Rocky Horror show, and I have to make you watch, although I wish there was a shadow cast for Phantom of the Paradise.
That would be pretty
That would
cool.
be great.
It was pretty cool where I grew up in Long Beach because, like, when Hedwig and the Angry Inch came out, like, I was just out of, junior year going into senior year, which was a really rough year for me, and
Mhm.
that whole, like, album really got me through that year because I really wanted to leave that wicked little town.
That's fair.
But, it felt like that, when you're in high school, everything feels like it goes on forever. But we had a shadow cast for Hedwig on
Wow.
Friday nights, and then on Saturday nights, they would do Rocky Horror,
Did
and
you
they
get to see it with Dexter?
Did I get to see it with Dexter? I don't
Yeah,
I
wasn't he playing the role on Broadway?
Oh, was he? I didn't catch that. I never got to see the Broadway production. I would love to, though. I
Yeah.
would really love
I
to
knew
be
someone who did costuming for it for a while.
I would have loved to have
Who
gotten
also worked on Phantom of the Opera at one point, so,
really.
Broadway's a small community.
Yeah, but
Like
it's so
like
cool.
most arts and culture communities, it's pretty small when you get down to it.
Well, it's great to be able to work with people who are reliable and other
Oh,
people
yeah.
can rely on them, and then they become
Oh,
like,
yeah, it's not a
they
bad
got a
thing.
great yeah.
Yeah, it's a good thing. It's
But yeah, what a world to work and live in. That would be so freaking cool. Yeah, yeah, I
so
really enjoyed kind of weird stuff. My mom introduced me to freaks and, like,
mm.
David Lynch stuff when I was young and,
Oh,
maybe
good,
Susan
there's some David Lynch coming up later for
Oh,
you.
absolutely. I'm very Lynchian. Give me
Oh,
some Lynch.
good. We're
Um, so yeah, I think, even though I have a tradition or, not traditional look, but a very kind of like, um, general, what people consider attractive. I know I kinda look like a Barbie doll, and that's why I claim the Kinky Barbie Domme,
that is
title.
.com,
Yeah,
people, check it out.
.com, BarbieDomme.com.
So,
But
yeah, how did growing up in all this culture, lead you to this what you do now, and what do you do now for the people who are listening, watching? Hope you're watching this.
yeah, for all
We
of
need
you
the visuals.
For all of you lovely people out there, my name is Goddess Charlotte Lashes. I am a dominatrix, and I came to this work in a kind of roundabout way, but also not. It was kind of direct and yet roundabout. I was I just graduated from high school, and I always felt like I really needed to do more than whatever people were doing. It just didn't seem like enough to me. And I guess that's the whole thing about peaking in high school. Some people do, and,
Yeah.
for those people that do, that's great. Um, but I wanted a
I'm
little
gonna
more.
peak in my 40s.
Me too. I think
Yeah,
I am.
I'm still on my way there, and it's oh boy,
I
it's
think
gonna
I'm
be great.
enjoying it though, like, taking it slow and not just being like, "I gotta get everything
We'll be
done."
more fully formed, you know?
Yeah, we'll be able to make even better decisions then, which is woohoo. Um, Gosh, where was I?
Or bad ones, or really bad ones that we can afford to make.
Yeah, well, we'll make educated decisions at places where adults can make those decisions and
That's right.
still come out, swinging at the end. That's great. So yeah, I kind of so let me tell you my story.
Yes.
I was going to City College as kind of something that you do in Southern California because there are so many really great accredited community colleges, and I met some really nice people that were much older than me, of course. And I was getting into things like Eastern philosophy and like human sexuality. I was taking these classes because honestly, I had no idea what academic planning was. So I took a whole bunch of cool classes. Abnormal psych was one of them as well. Um, like right out of high school. But I was able to meet really cool people. I had a wonderful psych teacher that taught the human sexuality class. I went back to him for like psych one, and he just had a really great like idea around kink and around fetish, and he made it very like you're not hurting anybody. Nobody's hurting anybody. As long as nobody's getting hurt, there's really nothing wrong with having a paraphilia or having a fetish for something. And that really stuck with me because that was probably like the first like man that I had ever heard like talk about this with like agreeably. And he was
You
your
learned about this in college?
yeah, I did
In a
actually.
college class? That's
No, I did.
great.
But
I
then
actually
hold on,
I had
wait,
a oh, sorry,
I
sorry.
have more. My girlfriend at the time and I were, she was more kinky than I was. She was more aware of things and she knew some friends in town. So we ended up hanging out and we went to take classes with Sabrina Belladonna and Ilsa Strix in the Los Angeles area. Sabrina and Elsa were very, very popular dominatrices in the Los Angeles area. And together they would teach workshops on cutting, piercing, how to make a flogger out of a towel,
Hmm.
how to do some, serviceable rope. And it was a really great like smattering of information. And every month I just look forward to going back. And I got to develop a really cool relationship, kind of working relationship with Sabrina. We were able to do a couple like cams actually with my ex-girlfriend at the time. We did like a whole torture scene, and if you don't know what that is, I'm gonna let you look it up.
Well, I'll have a clip from. Maybe I should do
There
that
won't be
now.
clips
No, I'll do it later. I have a clip from the Torturers.
Oh, tortures, yeah.
We'll
So,
get into that later.
but it was a lot of fun, and it was really great to be able to hang out with a pro who was very kind and wanted to sort of introduce me to like best practices and stuff like that. Unfortunately, she passed from breast cancer in 2009, I believe. And I remember her having dealing with cancer probably since like 2004 or 5. So she really went a long time trying to fight cancer, and it finally took her down, unfortunately. But she's a wonderful, wonderful pro dom, and I wish more people had had an opportunity to meet her or see her films, or learn from her, because she was a really great teacher. And she
That's
made it
great.
like a goal. She made it an attainable goal. It didn't seem like something that somebody in a movie that was so fictitious, like they did that, and it translates realistically, but she actually made it realistic, and it made it seem more attainable for me.
And
So
you made it realistic. You attained it.
I made it real. It was something I had thrown around a lot, and I think I was in that place in my early 20s where it was like, I've got to work hard and I've got to develop my mind. And so I was very like not into my image for a while. But I found my way back on my
I was gonna
terms.
say you seem very image conscious now.
I'm image conscious now, but it's really interesting because like it's got to feel good. I don't really live in that place where I'm insecure about how I look anymore.
Yeah, that's part of us peaking.
I
Around
think
the, yeah.
that's maturing, is like kind of getting over those little things that you think other people really care about, and they probably don't even see them. And I
Mm.
want more like more people, women and men, and non-binary people, to just feel like they don't have to perform in such a way that takes away from their personhood and it allows them to just be like their freaky self, whatever that looks like or however that is. So
Yeah, and that's just kind of like the band I'm making the documentary about, Haunted Garage. We're just
yeah,
they're very. I mean, let me show this picture of
hell
them.
yeah. Ooh,
Uh,
ooh, ah. No wonder it's a haunted
Haunted
garage.
Garage.
They
Yeah,
all
yeah.
came in from an accident.
Whoops, wrong slide.
Oh, nice.
So you can see like it's a very theatrical thing, but
Very much.
the good thing about them that put them apart from other bands that were theatrical were they were just being versions of themselves. Like Guar,
Oh,
I
yeah,
love Guar. I love Guar. Trust me, they're one of my favorite things in the world, but they're obviously kind of like horror cartoon characters. Whereas Haunted Garage, that was just them. They were being the most extreme version of themselves, and that's what made it even scarier because you never knew what you were gonna get.
I was really sorry. I was really enjoying what you guys were talking about last week, because you basically told, the conception of Guar
Mhm.
was like costumes from a B movie that was
Yeah.
being made, and somebody just saying, "Hey, I'm going to put this on and perform in it," and then like Guar was born, and
Mhm. It
it's
became bigger
not
than
that
both things, and
easy.
it consumed everything.
Yeah, but I mean, it's such a cool concept, and I like
Yeah.
conceptual stuff. I even really like DOMs that are super concept oriented,
Yeah.
because it's really it's not that it's a performance. They really are maybe a mom, and so them playing
Mhm.
like a mean mommy, it really fits for them because, that's kind of their energy.
Shout
And
out Dom Tomorrow, right?
Dom Tomorrow, I
Yeah.
really love Dom Tomorrow for
Yeah,
her
I've been watching her
great
videos.
style.
They're
Yeah.
great.
She's just
She definitely pushes that persona to the max.
But it's also like there's a mid-century modern vibe to her aesthetic. So
Mhm.
you know what I mean? So it's got like it exists in a place and time in a way that's like
Yeah.
you won't get from somebody else. And that's great because we all have our own shtick.
Yeah, and what I love about, people like her and you and bands like Haunted Garage is, there's still you recognize the element of camp in it and enjoy that as well.
Absolutely.
Do you agree with that?
Oh, I love camp. Uh,
Yeah.
there's a really
You
great
can't take yourself too seriously.
no, not at all. There's a wonderful I think his name is Griffin Maxwell, on TikTok. He's a young fellow that's going to Princeton, I believe. He's on the diving team, but he always talks about the philosophy around it's either hot or it's camp.
Mm,
And I love that because it's not really something as bad taste. It's just you have to understand there's camp involved in it, and you can't take yourself so seriously wearing like a hot rod shirt. You know, it's
right.
camp.
Yeah.
He's like elevated it to like a camp
Reminds me
level.
of some guy at the gym that I go to. It's just like, you
Yeah. I mean,
can't take yourself seriously, right?
you think,
You're in Hulk Hogan colors.
yeah, people that, well, some people like those colors, that's fine. But I think
It's
when you
very
go
bright.
out, if I go out and I'm wearing like chain and all this stuff, and I go up and I don't know. It just feels a little like art. Sometimes artifice is a little is just artifice, and
Yeah, yeah.
that's fine. Um, but anyway, yeah.
I wanted to go back to, when you were talking about learning about this in a college class, it sparked a memory of my own college experience. Because I went to a pretty liberal arts school and I took some bullshit classes, you would say. Not to say, they were great, but, like, probably didn't really prepare me for the for life, but they were fun, and, I don't know what you would call her, my counselor or advisor.
Academic counselor, yeah.
I don't know if she was a counselor, but she was the head of whatever program I was in, and she took over while I was there, and I took her class, and it was, I wanna get the name right, but I'm probably gonna be wrong. Something about the body, and in class, we watched things like documentaries about people who would, hang from hooks,
Oh, yeah.
we watched, the documentary about Bob Flanagan, the super masochist. Do you know about him?
Oh, I've heard this name before.
Yeah, I mean, like, holy crap, like,
Wait,
talk
is
about.
that called Sick?
Yes.
Okay, I haven't seen that, but I was just thinking about it the other day, and I
Oh,
really
you gotta see it,
named
it's
it.
great, yeah, I
Yeah,
watched that
Ben
in a college class, and so
Wow.
I actually did, like, a project in that class about, like, BDSM and popular culture.
I love that.
And that's the great stuff you could get away with in art school.
Well, I mean, it's also expressive. It makes you do all the requirements, right? It fulfills all the requirements. You have to do research. You have to kinda get
Yeah.
a good concept of what it is that you're
This
talking
was
about.
before Wikipedia, people.
I know, so you actually had to go to the
We
library.
did have no, well, we did have the internet, but
Well, no, you still gotta look shit up in the library.
yeah, yeah.
You need, like, references and to put all that stuff down in the proper, you know,
That
uh
sparked that memory, and it was just like,
Yeah,
I learned about kink in college too, so go to college, folks, like, you
yeah,
never know what you're
stay in
gonna learn
school.
and how it's
Stay in
gonna affect
school.
your life. And speaking of, how did we meet?
Oh my gosh. Well, I know that
And when did we meet?
we were both at a conference last August, and it was kind of an industry conference, but I know that
Underground
you
culture and industry,
it was a kink
something like that.
conference. It was
Yeah,
definitely a lot of people like me, and I think, Kevin, I think you were in the area doing the documentary, weren't
that's
you?
right. So what happened to me was I was already coming to LA, and I was already staying at this hotel, to work on this documentary for a couple weeks in LA, and this was just happened to be happening there, so how could I not go? And, of course, knowing me and my circles on the underground, like, I knew people who were attending, and I actually even ended up getting a press pass and everything.
It was
So I
cool.
had my camera, and it was a good time, and I met some great people, like Goddess Charlotte Lashes here.
Yeah. I think it was, you were wearing this interesting shirt, and I wasn't expecting you to be wearing, like, a
Oh, yeah,
Miley
you can
Cyrus
say what
shirt.
it was.
It was a Miley Cyrus shirt with, like, pink, silkscreen, and it was, there's my picture with Goddess Phoenix. She's a lovely dom.
These
Um,
are, from 2G, I think his name is 2G Photography. I just wanna credit the people for this.
yeah, this was actually the event that I attended, and I met you later that weekend. Oh,
Yeah.
this
This is like Where's Waldo for Goddess
Oh,
Charlotte.
totally, and I am a tall person, but you have to find me.
Yeah, so
I'm not telling. Actually, I'll say I'm on the left-hand side of this,
can you
photography
see the
here.
mouse in your screen?
Can I see the mouse? I can't.
Okay, good, okay. Well, I was
You
gonna if you could see the mouse, I was gonna point you out.
Oh, yeah, yeah, if you go all the way to the left and start working your way over slowly, you'll find my blonde head in the back
Oop,
there.
that was it. I thought I had another one. Oh, that's not from
Oh,
downtown, but that's just
if
you.
I can get my hair big and tease it up that
Mhm.
big this next weekend, I'm gonna be so excited. I haven't done my hair like that in quite a while. But I love a big beehive. God, like, we're talking about camp again, like,
Yeah.
I love it, like the B-52s, I just love a
Oh,
performance.
they're going on their final tour. I was thinking about getting tickets.
Oh my god, I saw them at the Independent in San
I
Francisco back
haven't seen
in,
them,
like,
so
2007 or 2008, and it was such a good show.
that's
It was
awesome.
so good. You gotta go. Please get tickets and go. Like,
Yeah.
they're they're a very important band. You must go see them.
So, this is interesting. I found out oh, oh, where do I have the flyer somewhere? Hold on. Do, 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 do. Here it is. So this is something interesting in the history of Haunted Garage. Fangoria's Weekend of Horrors, 1989.
Oh my god, it's in the same space.
That's where I was going with this. I discovered Haunted Garage actually played a show at the hotel that we were staying at that weekend.
I'm just
This
looking
is
at
from
who
1989.
wow, 'cause,
Elvira was there,
like, the
Stephen
guy that
King
did
was there.
Robert Short that did all the effects for Beetlejuice was there. What? Really?
Yeah,
Nightmare
I
for
don't know if I wish I
Actors,
could zoom in on this. I
Dukey,
wonder if I
Surf
can.
Nazis Must Die.
Yeah,
Oh,
so
that
that's
was
Haunted
no,
Garage,
no.
horror band,
Yeah.
performing featuring Dukey Flyswatter, star of Surf Nazis Must Die.
Wow. There
And
are a
so
lot of
while I was
important
in LA, I actually found a video of this performance.
No way.
Yeah.
Please show us.
Oh,
I
you're
must
gonna get it
I can't
right
believe it.
now.
Elle is, like, loves those weirdos.
1989. So he's chasing some kid out with the chainsaw. And then I have this one, this was Gabby.
Nice. 5.
That's our
Nice.
drag queen we're gonna talk about.
Oh, awesome. I love it.
So yeah, can you believe that?
I'm so into it. I love it. I love performance.
Synchronicity, right?
I love when people it's honestly okay, so talk about drag. Let me talk about drag for just a second. When I
Sure.
lost my mom in 2012, it was a big loss for me, but she loved me going out and being part of nightlife and doing things because she told me all these wonderful stories about living in the Bay when she was she was young, and I was like, "Man, I want to do that too."
Mhm.
So, she was really, happy for me to be in
Oops, sorry, go
but
ahead.
yeah, no, I love this face and this expression, it's wonderful. I just there's something about drag. People can do drag, they can do their, like, lip sync and take dollars off the stage, and that's great, I like that, but I also really love somebody who can just completely disappear into their person that they are and, like, go out into the stage or just turn it into like elevate it to this high performance art where people are almost not sure what the fuck you're doing because it's something that really needs to be fully observed and just let to be.
Yes.
And if you were to try and stop the chaos, it wouldn't feel right. So there's a really important drag queen that we have recently lost, named Fatima Rude, and she was a really big deal in the San Francisco drag scene, starting I believe in the 90s, and then of course we just recently lost her. um it's been hard during the pandemic for folks to get healthcare and stuff like that. So it hasn't been very kind. But this wonderful drag queen, this creature that she would love to be called.
Creature, I like it.
Yeah, she was just like, she would bring like noise music on stage and do performances with that. She would do like delayed lip syncs, which I know sounds kind of like what, but you know, if you're doing a song that's completely like 10 seconds off from, but you are still on beat with it. I know that doesn't sound like much, but it was actually something to see. We did a shoegaze night, and while I did something from like My Bloody Valentine, she goes up on stage, takes her shoe off, and like is staring at it. And I know that looks like, you know, it's very obvious and very literal, but like leave it up to Fatima to do something.
Oh, I get it.
Shoegaze, you know. Yeah,
Talk about
that
camp.
even alluded you. Oh wow, Kevin. But yeah, I mean,
I just think of Loveless.
Oh yeah. Oh my God. I really like all that you know, dream poppy music and stuff too. I have eclectic tastes. But she was such a cool drag queen, and just really like outside of the box, and did a lot of like Tom Waitsy stuff too, like the piano's been drinking, and just so many different numbers that were so bizarre. And it reminds me of this person that's in the film, who they're just like, the interaction that they have with the camera almost takes on a life of its own. You know, it's not even about the band, it's just about like how much they can freak the camera person out.
Oh yeah.
And I love it. I just love it.
We're gonna get more into drag, but I think this is a perfect time to show the trailer.
Oh,
So
yeah.
if anyone's watching is not familiar, and for you, it's a good time for a pee break if you need one.
Ooh, I think I'll be all right.
All right. So yeah,
Roll that
let's
beautiful
watch
trailer.
the trailer.
To be discussion about the importance of danger, chaos, the possibility of something happening that really wasn't on the schedule.
Mr. Dukey Fly Swatter and
The Haunted Garage!
If you took 80s slasher movies and put it in a blender with metal and punk rock, you're gonna get Haunted Garage.
Dukey and his crew were almost like making horror movies, horror punk.
But the gag is, you're in the splash zone.
It is splatter rock. It is chainsaw rock and roll.
Not only chainsaw them, but would pull the guts out and spread them all over the place.
It's like going to a horror movie, except it's actually happening.
There was this real fervor at the time about shock rock, how bad it was for the kids.
The shock value was exactly what I wanted.
I look over and I see Dukey with his arms on fire.
The flashes from the rear end.
He got brain surgery live on stage.
Whenever you find something weird, we'll give a use for it.
It's not an act that we put on to go on stage.
We were real.
There was some shit being exercised right there.
That was the raw stuff.
You walk out of there feeling like you've maybe left the planet for a little while.
Their legacy is they were unique.
They did things that weren't being done, and they did things that were outside of people's comfort zones.
Dukey was always just ahead of his time on that.
But it really rocked hard. I mean, he had really good musicians in the band.
We didn't want it to be only this deep. We wanted it to be this deep.
It's Haunted Garage. That's the whole point of taking things too far.
They just were doing it to have a good time and make you laugh.
It was always fucking fun.
Actually, we're a lot more stable than I think Bill Cosby.
I don't know how to explain it. It exploded.
Paul Stanley and Gene Simmons.
Tom Waits was there.
We blind Axl Rose.
When you're sitting between Dukey and Elvira, it doesn't get any cooler than that.
There were lines around the block to see Haunted Garage. They were the it band at the time.
Those guys were gods to who they were gods to.
He's an icon of the underground exploitational genre.
Punk rock
god of Hollywood.
Bela Lugosi's horrible punk rock grandson.
G.G. Allen, but fun.
He's like a friendly vampire.
He was LA's Peter Lorre.
You need somebody in a movie, that's the guy that you want.
Roger Ebert said it's the worst movie he's ever seen. Cold Steel.
Sharon Stone? Who knew? He had a great writing career.
He puts everything he's got into it. He made his whole life his art.
I think that the whole world should know about it.
Now I'm gonna cry.
Slam, 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 slam.
Wait a minute, you're gonna get this.
Oh, thank you.
It's a who's who of underground culture, and of course I'm promoting my Indiegogo campaign. Yeah, my Indiegogo campaign, emphasis on the pain, especially here today with Goddess Charlotte Lashes. Go check it out and get cool stuff. And now I'd like to also, now I have some exclusives.
Oh.
Yeah, this is the first of a couple exclusive clips that I would like to show, and this will prompt more discussion about drag. Of course, for anyone watching, this is very raw, like very hardly edited, but I want to give you a little sneak peek at the Gabby Godhead story.
Ooh,
so
show
check
Gabby
it
the
out.
film Glenn or Glenda, Ed Wood's story about a troubled transvestite.
Thanks.
I don't think we use that word anymore.
I don't know where Gabby came from. I think he actually landed and forgot to get back on his spaceship.
My name is G-A-B-Y Godhead. I've come from the planet transvestite, I guess.
I remember the first time we said, you got to find a look, you know? And he came on as a hippie for the first time with our band, and we go, no, that's not it. That doesn't quite work for you. He says, I think I got something, and he wouldn't tell us what it was. And then he came out like with this kimono makeup and this Catholic girl school outfit. And not only did he look insane, he was like drooling and frothing at the mouth. He played like fucking better than he'd ever played before. I mean, the better his drag, the better his playing is. I mean it. Absolutely, it's amazing.
We were doing a Halloween show. White Trash a Go-Go. He was wearing a clown suit. He got an awesome response. I think that's where you kind of saw that light bulb just kind of open up. In retrospect, it was kind of cool, especially from my vantage point, just seeing it all kind of happen that way.
I wasn't surprised. I think I made a joke about it to him. I think I hurt his feelings a little bit, and I apologized later, and then we were okay.
This is Gabby Godhead.
I'm better than any woman, believe me.
He's smoking everybody, smoking them and confusing them about his gender.
Some people didn't even know he was in drag. There was one time he dressed up like Marilyn Monroe and he had a fan underneath the big white skirt. He blew that up, but he wasn't wearing anything underneath. And some guy was like buying drinks for him and like found out about it.
And I was trying to figure it out. And then she goes like this and just cracks out the fucking most beautiful, loudest fart I've ever heard. And I just looked and my jaw dropped. And I go, that's not very ladylike, right? Wouldn't be till later that I figured out that it was kabuki.
Gabby had this kabuki thing, and it was just like demented and awesome, and it just freaking rocked.
I got him his first, what do you call it, corset? He ran with it. He had the most outrageous outfits, but somehow he came up with a new one every show.
I don't even know if I could pick one. He looked great in all of them. The nurse, maybe,
I always loved when he'd do the schoolgirl.
The cheerleading outfit was great too.
Yeah.
Oh, my favorite Gabby outfit was the cheerleader outfit.
If I had kids, I would wish them to go to a school where Gabby Godhead was the cheerleader.
I think one that stuck out was a Carmen Miranda outfit. I didn't know who Carmen Miranda was.
I did like that baby doll one. When he does the Eraserhead girl. Them pubes are everywhere.
Yeah.
Yeah, I remember I was probably like 11 or 12, and all of a sudden I had this impulse to like get into my mother's closet. You know, I grabbed her wigs and I tried them on, and I grabbed her makeup and tried it on. It just felt so comfortable. You know, I felt so natural that I started doing that when I was like really young, and then Gabby Godhead just blossomed in Haunted Garage.
Gabby Godhead.
He was a living legend. He was the first man that I saw in a dress, and he looked cool.
I think when he kind of figured out that this could be sort of a venue where he could do that and not be ridiculed, people actually were like, wow, you're awesome. A lot of those things that he was kind of doing this just went away. And I think that's where he was able to find a home, you know, in terms of expressing himself.
El Dukey and the rest of the guys from Mentors were threatening to beat him up, but nothing ever came of it. El Dukey's going, hey, right, your guitar player dressing like a bitch.
Gabby, have some fun with words.
Have some words.
Bye.
Aw, that's pretty cool.
Yeah, exclusive for you on the VonPod.
Oh, and everybody that's watching out there. This is really cool. Honestly, I had some good friends in high school that were like skaters. I was like the social butterfly. I had friends like in every single weird little group ever, and they were just the best people. One of my really good friends came to school in a skirt one day, and he just looked very comfortable, and it was just very natural, and I didn't think anything about it. And I just really like hearing about, especially back during this time, you know, that there was somebody who was like such a hard rocker wearing drag, you know. Look at this. It's like Baby Jane. Whatever happened to Baby Jane?
Oh yeah. You know, Dukey was in a remake of that movie.
No, wait, a remake.
I
Was
think
it a
so.
drag remake? Because I've seen the
No.
drag remake in from the people that I know in San Francisco, and it's pretty.
And no, I wish.
I have to say, I love this. Go ahead and play it.
Yeah, I'm just while we're talking.
Oh, I love.
Yeah, this is I mean, drag. Do you have any context of drag? Like, this is from the 80s, early 90s.
Oh,
So
for sure.
when he started doing this, it was like 1987. Like, what was drag culture like then, especially compared to what it is now, which is a
I
huge,
think
like,
a lot of people know
phenomenon.
about it being more mainstream now because of RuPaul's Drag Race.
Yeah.
That's kind of that's a double-edged sword, you know, with
There's
more
someone.
mainstreaming. Hey, there it is. There's the
Yeah.
Maryland dress. I love it. See, no one would complain about him wearing this Maryland dress.
Yeah.
We just don't want the Happy Birthday, Mr. President dress to be, you know,
That's
whatever.
the thing about Haunted Garage. You never knew what you were gonna get.
I love that. No, I appreciate that. I really love showmanship and performance artistry. And, you know, first of all, just wearing what's considered women's clothing anyway can be very freeing for people that identify as male or man, boy, whatever. And
Did you
it's
ever see that Iggy Pop quote? I think he said,
he likes wearing dresses because he doesn't think
Yeah.
that there's anything wrong with being female or feminine. He doesn't think
Exactly.
it's like a second-rate version of maleness or anything like that. He just,
Yeah.
I really love.
Iggy Pop, a fan of Haunted Garage.
Oh, I believe it. I remember reading like a GQ magazine way long time ago when I was a kid. He's like, I love sweaty armpits on girls. It just like really turns me on. And that forever after,
Wow.
I am a bit of a pit fetishist these days. What can I say? I like it when people sniff
Kinky
my
Barbie Domme, go
kinky
find her
armpit.
on those sites and get some sweaty pits.
Yeah. But you know, when it comes to just wearing things, they're clothes. They're really non-gendered to begin with. But it's just really nice to see people take drag and take cross-dressing or just wearing makeup for the sake of your show. Because you become the performance artist when you're at the show.
Yeah. And as he said, the better his drag, the better he was playing. So I think it was true for all of them. The more they extended themselves onto stage, like the better the performance was, the better response from the audience was, the whole
I just
cycle
really,
of energy.
yeah, I appreciate Dukey with the mouse traps too. I actually really like
Oh
putting
yeah.
them with mouse traps. I like putting them on people's skin. It's a really great mind fuck because yeah,
This is
exactly.
stage used at the last show.
Oh, nice, really?
Yeah, yeah.
Yes, and
From this
yeah,
past summer. I was actually staying
yeah.
at the hotel and I had to leave to go to this show. That's why I missed one of the parties.
Did they actually have like the trap on the flyer? Like, is that how you got the flyer? Was like,
Oh no, this is actually so actually one of the guys in the video, the guy with the long white like dreadlocks,
oh yeah, yeah.
that's actually where's my center? This guy Tony, he used to
Oh,
be in a
nice.
band called the Adolescents.
Oh, really?
Yeah, he was the singer of the Adolescents.
Oh my God.
Classic LA punk band.
Yes.
And this is actually an album cover from a band he was in the 90s called The Ads. And this
Oh,
is Dukey's eyeball
yes.
that they used for the cover, as photographed by legendary LA photographer Edward Culver, who also did all the photos on this record. And
Yeah.
all the classic LA hardcore records you love. Black
Oh, man.
Flag's Damage, The Circle Jerks,
Yep.
45 Grave, Christian Death, you name it, he photographed them.
Wow.
And they also wrote a song called Fly Swatter for this band.
Did they really?
Yeah, different album, but I guess Dukey was just a big influence on them.
You were doing an homage.
Yeah, but the Rat Traps, yeah, we could get into that a little bit later. But yeah,
I
he
think they're just
would
a lot
put
of
them.
fun to put on people's bodies, you know? 'Cause
Yeah,
they
and
look so
depending on the age restrictions of the venue, you never knew where they were going to end up. Let's just put it that way.
Well, that's very
If
true. I mean,
if
you don't wanna see
if it's hanging flesh from the body, he put it on there.
that could be
And that is not
anything.
makeup. That could be
No, that's
anything.
that's
I
really
can't show those clips on here, but
No. We'll save that for the adult content section.
exactly. Yeah, well, I was thinking of doing a whole segment and sending it to the Hump Film Festival, like as sort of like a deleted scene mini movie about that topic,
Cool.
because there's enough there, trust me.
You could probably do something with that, absolutely. So, but
You'll
yeah,
see some of that later. Do you want to go through? I have a slideshow of some Gabby looks if you want to rate some
Oh, I'd
Gabby
love to
looks.
see some great Gabby looks.
I thought that would be fun.
I love people's creativity, especially when you've been socialized male and then you come
Yeah.
up with really feminine, like cool looks like that. Like you're truly transgressive because it's just look at that. And
And
especially
that's
love
from that Fangoria convention at our hotel,
Oh,
actually.
I've never been to a Fangoria convention. I want to because I mean, I don't even know if is Fangoria still in publication?
In some form, in
Is.
some way. Yeah, it's
Yeah.
back.
These are a
What do
bloody
you think of this one?
bloody clown always. Clowns are already weird, and if you just yeah, look at the weird demented look on his face and the creepy bow and all the blood. Yeah,
All the blood.
10 out of 10. Oh
I
my
don't know what
god.
he's wearing here, but you can see the
It's
giant brain in the background. That was a
Yes.
prop from the movie The Brain,
Oh my god,
the
look at
B-movie from the
everybody's
80s.
getting their life back there. I fucking look at Dukey's face. He's got the most
Yeah.
demented smile. It's
Oh,
fucking
yeah.
great.
They all gave some great face, I'll tell you that.
Oh, Gabby. Oh my god, I want Gabby's corset. It kinda goes in
Right?
line with my whole spider
That'd
thing
be
that I
good for
love.
October, yeah.
Oh my god, absolutely.
There's your
Oh,
girl from the
it's the
Radiator.
clown girl. Yes, it's the
In
This is so
heaven,
Yes, yes.
everything is fine.
It's fine. Look at her face. Oh
There's some more
god.
photography by Edward Culver from the album.
Oh my goodness. You know, honestly, I don't wanna talk badly about anybody from Marilyn Manson, but I feel like they
Oh, I
got a
think
little
it's okay at this point.
yeah, I mean, like, not the person. He's a
Okay.
creep. But, like, the band itself, because they
Mhm.
did produce some really good music and when they first got
Oh,
started.
yeah, I was
But
obsessed with them for a while.
Me too, you know, I really liked how Twiggy brought the whole sort of more feminine, you know, sort of, like, draggy element to it, but I really think they might have gotten it from Gabby. I really do.
Well, I'll
I
tell
think there's
you,
a little gimme
it
there
wasn't
from,
it
you
wasn't
know
until at least 1995, but
Look at
Marilyn
that.
Manson did see a performance with Dukey Flyswatter. Not Gabby, but Dukey definitely played in a makeshift band, and they played I think it was Sarah Lee Lucas, the
Mhm.
old drummer from no, Gidget Gein, I'm sorry. Gidget
Oh, Gidget,
Gein,
yeah.
the original bass player of Marilyn Manson and the Spooky Kids, and the guy who actually did record the bass on their first album before Twiggy took over. Even though
Mm.
Twiggy's in all the pictures, it was this other guy actually recorded the album.
Mhm.
Dukey and a band that he put together just for that night called the Damned Old Opry
The Damned Old Opry? Oh, that's
played his
awesome.
memorial service, and Marilyn Manson was there and watched Dukey Flyswatter, for sure.
Wow. Yeah, I think there might have been a little. I mean, because look, like this is very intriguing. I want to see this band. This looks like
More.
whatever happened to Baby Jane, you know. And
Yeah.
I love how campy that film is, and you know, this is great. Like, come on. First of all, artistic makeup. You've
Yeah.
already got me. You've already got
And the
me.
expressions. Oh God.
I love the expressions. I
What about
love
this
the
one?
outfit. This is a little cross between like Ronald McDonald and Divine.
Right. And you said
There's a little bit there.
you had a lot of influence from John Waters, speaking of, right?
Oh, John Waters. John Waters was like, oh my God, I saw Crybaby when I was like in middle school and I was just set. I was set. Like because Tracy Lords,
There's more
I
clown.
really like Tracy Lords. I know she had a weird start to her porn career, but you know what?
Yeah, you could say
I
that again.
really like Tracy Lords. I just do. I just really respect her. And she was in that film. I mean, she's in Crybaby. She's Wanda. Just like I just love it's look, this is like Hatchet Face homage here now. You know, speaking of John Waters.
Uh,
I mean, it's just perfect. Look
so
at this.
I have a little bit of a blind spot with John Waters.
What's that?
I don't I I just haven't watched that many of his films, even though I really should have. And I was going to watch Pink Flamingos because I know that's like the big classic, right?
It
I was gonna
is.
watch that in preparation of doing this show tonight, but I couldn't find it anywhere, and the Blu-ray doesn't come out for another month or two, so
Interesting. I wonder if
it
it
was hard
comes
to
with like
find.
a smell-o-vision
Huh,
because there's like
maybe.
there was that in the film. There's actually like numbers that flash in the corner, and then there was a card that you got at the theater. I wasn't young enough to, or even alive enough
Mhm.
to like see these things happen in real life, but this is what my mother told me. Thank you, Mom.
Mhm.
But there was a card with like, you know, scratch and sniff on there. And when they would flash the number, scratch and sniff. And there's a very important scene, a very seminal scene in the
This is
film.
I always hear about this, and that's probably why I've never seen the movie yet, 'cause I'm like, I don't know.
Oh wow, it's just a little poo. But yeah,
Yeah,
they're
yeah.
having like a little, you know, a little you know, lunch out on the lawn with like the blanket and everything. And they're like, and then of course that's the moment and the number flashes and you're supposed to scratch and sniff.
That would be
So
interesting.
yeah, but I think you would really like the movie Pecker. I don't know if anybody else out there has seen the film
I
Pecker by
did
John
used to
Waters.
own, Cecil
So
B.
good.
Demented.
Oh, see, I haven't seen that one, but I need to. And you need to see Pecker because it's
Yeah,
all
no, I
about
need to
being
get my
a photographer.
education. And
It's
and
fantastic. Every time the character sees a moment that needs to be photographed, it like appears to him like it's from God. It just really cool because if you ever wanted to take photos or you were in that kind of headspace to capture scenes, of course you do when you do shows and everything. It's
Mhm.
like it just appears to you and calls to you, and that's kind of what it's like in the film Pecker because it's like these scenes are just calling to him to
I
photograph,
gotta
and
watch
he
it, yeah.
becomes wildly popular because of this.
And Crybaby is, you know, just because of it's topical now.
Yeah. Ugh.
Johnny Depp is very topical, though I don't know enough about that to talk about it.
Oh, I've been watching it.
But
I've
that
been
that
watching
needs
it.
that needs a scratch and sniff too, I think, right?
Well, you don't need to scratch and sniff as much as Amber Heard has been scratching and sniffing whatever she's been sniffing out of her tissue in the
Oh boy.
courtroom, on the
I'll watch
stand,
the documentary when it comes out.
allegedly. Anyway, yeah, no, it's a
Do you
mess.
know anything about this movie Blood Diner?
Ooh, actually, I do not. Can you tell me a little bit about Blood
Well,
Diner?
this is an absurd comedy horror movie that Dukey Flyswatter wrote, but I wanted to mention it just because I am supposed to get an interview with the producer of this, Jimmy Maslin, who also owns um, all of Herschel Gordon Lewis's film
Catalog?
archive, yeah,
Really?
catalog, which you know he wrote. I mean, he directed Blood Feast and a bunch of other
Oh,
like
wow.
60s sort of dawn of the blood ages, whatever.
Yes.
Anyways, the point is, last time I talked to him on the phone, he was actually at the airport going to interview John Waters for a documentary that he's making about, I think, John Waters. I hope this is public knowledge, but I think it's on IMDb, so you know,
Sweet.
I'm not like spoiling anything, but look out for that. And
Mhm.
then I have a clip.
Show us the
So This I guess needs a little bit of explanation. This is something called My Breakfast with Blassie, with Andy Kaufman.
Andy Kaufman on, I see there, yeah.
Yeah, so this is some, I guess it's, it's supposed to be like a reality based, just him and this old wrestler Freddie Blassie, just
Oh.
getting breakfast, and whatever happens, But the significance is in the intro, before the movie on this VHS and also on the DVD, which is less interesting to look at, because it's a tape. Wow,
Yeah, this is like real hard material that you actually have to
it's
yeah.
It's footage from the premiere of this, where a masked wrestler is interviewing people as they walk in.
Nice.
Including Andy Kaufman, and apparently that was his last public appearance before he died. And the masked wrestler is Dukey Flyswatter.
Oh no!
Before he had the name Dukey Flyswatter.
Oh wow!
And yeah, I want to show you something that may spark some interest in you.
Ooh, yes. Well, do show me.
He's so frightened.
This is like 1984.
Echoes!
Everybody knows everybody in a Hollywood premiere. They met at Hot Tub Fever.
So I don't know much about her, but she's part of that entourage of John Waters, right?
Oh yeah, no, she's in Female Trouble. Is it Female Trouble? I think she plays like a baby.
That makes sense.
Yeah, and she's like eggs. Like,
yeah, I know he was a big John Waters fan. So, and here's the conclusion where he interviews Andy Kaufman.
Mr. Kaufman, Andy Kaufman, star of My Breakfast with Blassie, and one of the stars of the soon-coming to TV series Taxi Driver. Andy Kaufman, Andy, are there any words you wish to say? Just thank you very much. It's a wonderful event. I'm glad.
Wow.
Possibly the last interview Andy Kaufman ever did was with Dukey Flyswatter. Can you believe that?
Yeah,
That's Hollywood for you.
He really does look like what's his face from Taxi Driver though, and with that haircut.
Right, that's the funny joke, because he was in that show Taxi.
Yeah, but yeah, no, he's total throwbacks to Taxi Driver too. I mean, like,
right,
the haircut. Yeah,
it was a brilliant joke. It deserves to be
it
seen.
was brilliant.
Taxi.
Absolutely.
Driver.
Dukey with the luchadora mask is awesome, because those masks are great, but also just being kind of this, like, having a random mask on and also wearing this like gold tux jacket.
Well, yeah, because it's a wrestling themed movie, so.
Oh, that's right. That's
it
right.
Makes sense. Yeah.
Yeah.
He
But
was thematic.
I love it.
I think it's a good time to do some ads.
Yes.
Mind if I do some ads?
You should do some ads.
No.
You should do an ad for me first, I think.
Oh, well, you didn't give me an ad for you. I read your ad already. She's got his Charlotte lashes. Go
Where
to her
did you
website.
go? It
Oh
just
no,
froze.
you froze. Oh,
I-
you're back. I thought you were like voguing for me.
Oh no, I was like, it just hung. Anyway,
okay.
for anybody out there that wants to find out more about me and what I do, please go to kinkybarbiedomme.com. I'm on campsites and do other fun things as well. But that is a great landing page for you all to just check out what I do
Well,
and what I'm
we'll
about.
be back with you. You can hang out for a little bit longer, right?
Absolutely. Yeah.
Okay, great. Yes, definitely go check her out, and we'll repeat those links at the end as well. So it's fresh in people's minds to go straight from YouTube to
Exactly there.
kinkybarbiedomme.com.
That's right.
But now, a word from our sponsors. Just so happens, my sponsor is me.
VonEsper Studios is a multimedia production company in the New York City area specializing in capturing your moments in the forms of audio, video, and photography content. VonEsper Studios Music is the audio production and songwriting division that can create the perfect song for your needs. This is an example of just that. Need a jingle to make you tingle? VonEsper Studios Music is ready to write the hits you need for your project. If you are a singer, performer, business owner, or podcast host, you need great tunes to entice your audience. Or maybe you just need a theme song for yourself. VonEsper Studios is ready to create something to suit your needs. VonEsper Studios is ready to score your car commercial.
Necessary to pursue the spirits with a small donation.
Uh-oh.
In advance.
Rock and roll. Your beignet money stuck on my chimney. Your beignet money stuck on my chimney.
You better believe me, bastard. It's almost too late.
That's right, music from the classic B horror movie Nightmare Sisters, starring the big three scream queens of the 80s, Linnea Quigley, Brink Stevens, and Michelle Bauer, two of which I got in my documentary. Woohoo! Nice. Available for the first time on Indiegogo. Go get it on my page. Go to dukeydoc.com. You'll find all the links. It's amazing. That movie came out in 1987. They did the theme song, and it's never been available to the public. But I found the master cassette, and that and many other rare recordings from the band are available on our Indiegogo campaign. And then, you know, I started this show with I planned one show, and then before it even happened, I had several more ready to go. So let me tell you about them. We have coming up next week, Charles Lincoln and Chelsea Lesage. I hope I'm saying her name correctly. They are filmmakers, and they're promoting some horror-related film projects that they are doing. And the great thing about them, well, Charles, is I believe his spark to make movies came from being in a music video that I shot and directed and edited. So,
nice.
Not to toot my own horn, but holy shit, you know. And then I'm skipping the week after for some personal reasons, and then we'll be back the next Thursday with Sweaty Lamar, who, oh man, I wish I pulled her quote up, but she has nothing to do with any of this, but is a songwriter from New Philadelphia or New Jersey. Uh-oh, I'm gonna get in trouble. I didn't do my research. And she said, if you ever need somebody that's completely ignorant to all the things you're talking about, book me. And I said, you're booked, because I mean, who doesn't love that middle finger? That's the kind of attitude that I want. And
she's very cute too. She's very
well,
pretty. Right? I might just have to show up.
You gotta tune in and talk to her.
You
know, if you're just lurking, you're just lurking, and you want to tell any of us that we're attractive, you can put it in the comments. If you're watching on Facebook, I don't think I see those. Maybe I do see those. But go to YouTube. That's where this stream is best. My interview for the New York Hardcore Chronicles last weekend is up for replay on YouTube with Drew Stone, New York City filmmaker Drew Stone, who made an amazing documentary about Michael Alago. It used to be on Netflix, and I think it's coming back to streaming soon. He's the, do you know anything about Michael Alago?
I don't, but I want to know more. Where can I find more information?
He was this A&R guy who from the 80s and 90s who signed and worked with bands like Metallica. He signed Metallica.
Oh,
White
cool.
Zombie, who used to open for Haunted Garage.
Yes, that's right.
The Misfits in the 90s.
No way.
Cyndi Lauper, and a ton of other people. And he it's just a great story. He's this gay guy in New York, and he survived all kinds of things. And I'm not going to give the whole story away. Go watch the documentary. Anyways, my interview with director Drew Stone, along with Green Jelly's Bill Manspeaker. Spoiler alert, he shows up at the very end, but the important part is we got him on the show. It's a great chat. Go check it out. And out now, the 2-part podcast from Podcasting After Dark. In the first episode, they talk about the Dukey Fly Swatter classic Sorority Babes in the Slimeball Bowl-orama, which is another great classic with the big 3 scream queens, and Dukey plays the imp.
I love the paddle that she's holding behind her back.
Yeah, you would love this movie. There's a lot of
story.
kink elements to it. Although the wrong character on the cover is holding the paddle, which is very curious. Whatever. I think they made the poster art to sell the movie, then they made the movie later, kind of thing. You know what I mean?
I think the paddle came later if you look at the art. But it's threatening and hot, and that's what sells stuff.
But actually, the character on her right in the black outfit is the one with the who actually uses the paddle in the movie. And then out today,
fun.
Yeah,
she looks fun.
Let me show you my big box. You want to see my big
box?
You
want to show me your big box? Kevin's going to show. I don't know if that's appropriate for this show. Oh, I see. Sorority Babes
in the Slimeball Bowl-orama, the 80s horror comedy classic.
So there, I don't know why, but this is reminding me of Reformed Schoolgirls somehow with like.
Oh, was that a trauma movie?
Wendy O. Williams.
Wendy O. Williams.
I don't know. Something about this just gives me like,
it's like all related.
The 80s with bands and just like having a grand time with it. It's just so cool.
So if it's okay with you, I'm going to bring us down for just a minute, and then we're going to build it back up, okay? And end with some bangs, perhaps literally.
What kind of bangs?
Yeah, I don't know. We'll see.
After the show.
Oh, yeah, because we're going to skip straight from YouTube to you know where. So
that's true. Yeah, I'm all prepared. I might as well just.
That's right.
Yeah.
I forgot to do this last week. We lost New York City punk legend Howie Pyro last week. He was in Degeneration and he played with Danzig, and I didn't know him personally, but I know a lot of friends who did. I think I saw him DJ once at Bowery Electric. I'm not sure, but he was a staple of the scene and his presence will be missed. And we also lost, well, this is a picture of Dukey Fly Swatter, but the photographer, Ward Bolt, we lost him this week, and I want to pay some tribute to him and show some photographs of Dukey that he took. Oh, that one was self-censored, and if you look closely, it's smoking.
It is. Oh,
there's your mouse traps. This has been Dukey's profile picture on Facebook for like ages.
I love
it's
it.
This classic photograph by Ward. There's all your mouse traps. We can only see half of his body, so there could be more. We don't know.
There could be like maybe 7 more.
Here's an awesome framed version of that. And then here's them together holding the picture. I think these were really great to share. Aw. And these are some movie covers that he shot with Dukey. Although Dukey was not in these movies, I think he was just hired to make the cover art, and he got Dukey because you can't go wrong photographing the Dukester. But I've never called him the Dukester before. I don't know why I did that.
Oh, I don't know.
But yeah, I just wanted to pay some tribute to Ward. I didn't know him either, although we had some brief exchanges on Facebook about his work, and I was hoping to interview him for the documentary. And now let's bring it back up, okay?
Yeah.
Well,
It's cool to see some of the work that he did, though. Thanks for showing like some of his work off. I mean,
yeah,
you
you're
sometimes it's hard to
welcome.
it's hard to honor people that are capturing the moments that you're,
I
you know,
mean, how great is
it's
this?
I think the leather jacket is very well lit. If I ever do a shoot with you in leather, you better light me like that.
Well, you got it. And I
So,
actually have a clip.
but these are
I
great
I
photos.
hope this is face. I mean, YouTube appropriate.
Well,
Like, it
does it
should
show
be
anything below
fine.
the belt?
I don't. I think I cut all that stuff out.
All right.
Where did I put it? Oh no, I gotta find it. That's
It
fine.
took
I'll
me
find it.
forever to see that there were actually comments over
Here it
here.
is.
Thanks everybody if you've been commenting. We appreciate
Yes, leave
it.
a comment if you're in the chat. So this is a little short film he did with Dukey and two models. I believe it was supposed to be the intro to a series of videos of the adult kind.
Mm.
Music by Haunted Garage. Which maybe I should turn off because I might get dinged on YouTube.
Oh, that's true. Oh my god, I love it.
Yeah, this I found in Dukey's archive on a VHS tape. It's only a couple minutes long. I'm not showing the whole thing. I could not show the whole thing on
Oh my god,
YouTube.
I love that this is a smoking video. This is really hot. Look at Dukey, he is in heaven.
This must
I
be from
can't
about
even
20
tell
years
you,
ago.
this is a very relatable look that I wore, back in my high school days.
Oh
I used to
boy.
put bows in my hair like that because I thought it was fucking adorable. Oh my god, I love this. This is so, like, nostalgia.
Yeah, so this was directed by Ward in his photo studio, I guess.
Oh my god, I love these girls. They're adorable. Look how cute
So
she is, with her square tip nails. Those were so big in, like, the 90s and the aughts. Oh my god. They're coming back. Oh, I love it.
are you ready for another exclusive that'll definitely prompt
Yeah.
some conversation?
Absolutely. Give me that
All right. So
exclusive
now, all
content.
right. This I swear it's the last deceased person that I'm going to talk about. But I have to talk about her because she's so super important to everything here. The Duchess de Sade, aka Mistress Barb, who had her own band, Duchess de Sade,
Yes.
who were very, very, very heavily by Kink, and also probably one of the first bands to, along with Haunted Garage, as you'll see, to bring it to the stage.
For sure.
And I have a clip somewhere. See, I can only prep 10 at a time, so I already did those. Now I gotta find everything as I go along.
Oh,
Oh
no.
yeah, so there's a little intro to the Gorgor Girls, and you'll get why I call my campaign the Gorgor Indie
Oh, no, it
Gorgor
all makes
too.
sense now.
So
There's actually Gorgor girls, like, sign
yeah,
me. This sounds
which
fun.
again, I was talking about Herschel Gordon Lewis and his film catalog.
Oh, yeah.
The Gorgor Girls is also another Herschel Gordon Lewis movie from the 70s.
Oh. Also, his name is Gordon, so maybe
When we
that's another
introduced
reason.
you, two young ladies escorted you onto the stage, and they're part of your band, is that correct?
They're our female counterparts.
Well, why don't you introduce them for
This is
us?
the Gargar Girls, Mrs. Barb and Carol.
Oh, Gorgar Girls. From what I remember, it kind of started out sort of spontaneously. Girls just started jumping up on stage.
L7, I think, were the first Gorgo girls at Raji's.
Dukey, not one to miss a good idea, he decided to incorporate that. And I think that's when he started kind of going out with Barb, and then she came in, and she really became sort of the quintessential.
Basically, Barb came around. Duchess de Sade, I convinced her to do it. She was a stripper.
And Barb was another sweetheart too. Like, she was just this diminutive, super sweet, maternal person. She just happened to be a dominatrix. And she just happened to, like, be half naked most of the time when she was on stage.
Can you dress this way?
This is a lot more than I usually wear.
Barbara kind of was a game changer. She took things to a different level. She was a lot more scandalous than I was. I was more into dancing with fishnets and booties, shorts. But when Barbara came in, she was into a whole different field of performance art. So she brought in nipple clamps and, butt plugs and real edgy kind of things that really took the band to another level.
It went from like comedy schlock horror to like horror schlock with gore and this fetish aspect. So there was a lot more nudity. The Gore Girls came along. It was comedy fetishism. Does that make sense?
The Gore Girls.
Right.
And
the antithesis of the empty-headed bimbos you see on a lot of the MTV type videos.
yes. It's sort of an inspiration from a bad Herschel Gordon-Lewis movie I saw called The Gore Girls. I knew we needed dancers and they had to be
Disgusting.
Yeah, they had to be disgusting and maimed up, but I didn't want to. But also beautiful. Right.
I actually kind of liked it also because it sort of counterbalanced all the crazy horror stuff that was going on, where you kind of bring in something that's more appealing. Obviously beautiful naked women is always going to be, whether they're covered in blood or not.
It was eye candy for the audience, so I didn't care.
See, a little eye candy goes far.
Oh yeah, it was eye candy overload on that stage.
Oh my God, yes. It's just so interesting to hear people kind of talk the same philosophy that I almost practice with my pro dom work, because like
Yeah.
I might look really conventional, but I have some very unconventional tastes. And we like that. We like to surprise and provoke people. And this is so cool. I can't wait to see this documentary.
Me
Kevin.
too. So help me, you
Good.
guys out there, help me fund it so it goes smoothly
Yeah.
from here on out.
Yeah, folks, you gotta give money to Kevin so he can finish this beautiful documentary that he made. It's an important piece of media that needs to go down in the annals of history, documenting this fantastic band that made a huge mark on
Yeah,
music.
huge.
Start. So
I want to show you.
y'all out there, just give $5 and
You'll get some stickers.
You'll do so. You'll get stickers. You'll get accolades. You'll get
You can put them anywhere.
You can use them as pasties next time you go out to the
That's right.
club. Please wear a mask.
Great for burlesquers.
Great way to sell the film. Yeah. Hey.
Well, if you're a burlesquer and you would wear my stickers, I will send them to you for free.
I would like to see a whole burlesque show that incorporates the traps and
Oh man, see,
and the
when this
stickers.
documentary is a gigantic success and everybody knows about Haunted Garage the way that they found out about Tiger King recently, that'll could happen.
There you go. We just got a mainstream. We got a mainstream Dukey fly swatter.
Yeah, that's kind of the whole thing here. I want to show
Yes.
you a clip of the Gore Girls, and I want
Yes.
to show you this one specifically because Haunted Garage footage was very rare to come by until I started this. So in my 30 years of interest in them, I probably collected maybe 4 or 5 tapes.
Nice.
And this was the first one I ever saw. So I was probably like 11 or so when I saw this,
Yes.
12 maybe, in my bootleg trading circles. And here it is. They're beautiful, but they're dead. Raw footage. Oh,
That's fucking rad.
and then it progressed to something more like this along the way. You know what a fat shaker machine is?
Oh yeah. Yes. These are weird machines.
Yeah, whatever they could find.
Did, you know?
Whatever they could find that was weird, they would
Oh
use
my
it.
God, I love this like very gentle flogging going on stage.
He wants more, he wants more.
Yes, he wants more. Oh, I really love Dukey's reaction. It's fantastic. Yes. There's something synergistic about somebody like that on stage. It just like pushes you further than you think you probably could go with your own performance. Like,
Right?
it's like trying to elicit more and more out of the people on stage. It's just really great, and it just
It
like
was edgy, but it
inspires,
made
you know?
everybody had a good time. That's the the takeaway.
I would have loved to have been on stage with them.
Well, Jesus,
Doing some weird shit.
if you would have come to their final show with me while I was in LA, we could have made that happen.
Oh, I didn't know, man.
I know.
But you know,
So-
if Dukey's out there, if any of those folks from the film are out there, like I just want you to know that you have a new fan.
yeah.
Because like that's some really great art.
I
And
just wanted to
thank you
share
so
some
much.
photos of Barb.
Oh, that's the thing. I love a bloody babe. Like I don't care if you're blonde.
She got punched by Gigi Allen.
What?
Yeah, she told me we went to Denny's after their show in 2008 before she passed away. And
I
that's her
love this.
bass player.
Oh,
These
wow.
are some photos courtesy Pix Tracy, a big fan and photographer of the group, and we have one of her prints available at our Indiegogo.
Really?
Here's
Wow.
more
Nice.
in recent years.
Oh,
And
bless
that's them together.
That's awesome. Gosh, it's so cool. I really love people just that are free in the way that they make their art, and like
Yeah.
they know they're gonna piss people off, which is great. I mean, but it's not the goal is not to just be somebody that pisses people off, but to actually have some art that will push other people's
Yeah.
boundaries. You know,
Yeah, I think they were on the forefront.
I've known folks that are like, you know, they're like transgressive to just to like, you know, be a barb in somebody's side. No pun intended with the barb name, haha. But you know, like, but there's art here, there's substance here, and there's like a really, it just looks really fun, you know?
It is. That's the whole point. It is
I would
really
totally
fun.
show up in like a plastic dress knowing that like it would be the splash zone and just have like the best time, and like rubber boots because
Yep.
obviously, you know, they're easier to clean. But
And one of the first groups I think, that I can think of that brought this kind of, S&M performance art to
yeah.
the stage.
I love it. It's edgy. People always get a little edged out when they see something like a flogger or somebody being tied up. And it's just knowing that that is going to get a rise out of people, and
Well-
then just layering all of that. Like these shows must have been tremendous, really.
What do you know about piercing? Because that's something else they
Oh,
used
I
to
know a
do
lot
on
about piercing.
stage.
And, you know, I mentioned my friend Fatima earlier. She would do like live piercings on stage, like across
Yeah.
here and then out the other side.
I'm
And
just showing you pulling them out, but he did also get these on stage.
oh yeah. I think when you're in the middle of like all of this energy and then you are putting needles in, I think that could be a little, yeah. That could be, I'm not sure how that was for him,
It
but
was just at the end of the show, so he didn't like do the whole show with them in or anything.
you can, I can only imagine just like the rush of endorphins after that. Like look at how peaceful his face looks.
Yeah, and I think that was a big part of it actually, because I think when he started doing this, it was also around the same time that he started in recovery programs.
Oh yeah.
So
So he was sober.
he was sober. He's been sober more or less for like 30 years or so.
That's great.
So I think that stuff definitely was a part of that healing process, and of course, if it's Dukey, if it looks great on stage too,
Yeah.
why not? You know what I
Yeah,
mean?
no, I'm so down with that. I love that, and it just feels like it's a really cool thing to explore kink. I wouldn't say you should if you're in programs out there, anybody out there that sobriety
Yeah, he
that
helped a lot of people.
yeah, but I mean I don't think that like just taking one addiction and using something that can kind of get you high and replacing it is like always the right way to go. Because
No,
people
yeah.
can do that to their own detriment. But to be able to like take stuff that is like body ritual and put it into your art like that, it really like adds another, it's like a site specific art thing that's happening right
So
there.
many dimensions to Haunted Garage.
Yeah, it's very like on the spot. It's not, I mean, you can capture it on film, and that will be really great for everyone to be able to see these things that have been captured on film. But you know,
Yeah.
if you're like there and you're witnessing like piercings and you're witnessing, you know what I mean? There's just some kind of like there's like a strong magic in that. And I know that sounds kind of corny, but
Well, check
there's
this out.
something about that is magical in live performance.
I want to show you a little bit more about her specifically.
Yeah.
I was in the band Twister Naked. She would come to a lot of the shows, and then we did this one song called Iron Lung, and it had kind of like an S&M kind of vibe to part of it, and I would always tie myself up with the microphone cord. She just jumped up on stage and started whipping me with the microphone cord, and so she did it a couple of times, and I always thought that was kind of cool.
It may not have been real sex, but it was simulated sex to the point where you could not tell the difference from the audience.
Absolutely.
And that's the point.
Absolutely, that is the point.
Okay, that's the point. You can't tell the difference from the audience.
That was in Duchess Decide, which is a different band.
That's right.
Oh, there's a different band than your band.
My band. There's his band.
You know, my mom had her band, and she liked to basically do a lot of shocking things and get reactions, do things that would make a lot of people very uncomfortable, did things that a lot of people would be afraid to do. She always was like, why don't you bring your boyfriends? I'm like, I don't know that I want my boyfriend to come and see my mom with a strap on stage.
Why not?
Did you know that your mom sang a duet with Tiny Tim?
I didn't.
Your mom sang a duet with Tiny Tim.
After they had split up, I went to a Duchess Decide Tiny Tim show. You would go visually from one side of the stage to the other. Oh. You haven't truly experienced the essence of life until you're watching a maybe 68-year-old man-child 60s relic singing I Got You Babe with a woman wearing leather bikini underwear and duct tape crosses over her nipple and a riding crop. And during the song, as I remember, she took the end of the riding crop and put it into her pants and pulled it out, and while he was singing, she would lick it. I believe that happened. They were so good that I kind of went, maybe life isn't complete shit after all.
Oh, do you think that that's what we have to go to entertain people?
I think that there's nothing wrong with that. I think that sex is a natural thing and that we're much too hung up on it in this country.
She lived her life the way she wanted to live her life, and I support that. You got to find a way to do what you want to do, even if it's not everyone's cup of tea. I do like having like a very unique background and upbringing in a different world, and the world that they had helped me be so open-minded. There's very little you can do to shock or disturb me.
Yay.
And I have a little clip of Duchess Decide.
Oh, sweet.
There's not much from their show that I could play, but here's a little. Hopefully this won't get me banned from YouTube. Video by Video Bob. I want to credit the videographer, Video Bob. We used to do great videos from Club Lingerie in LA.
Yes. I feel
What
like
do you think?
all that was happening when I was a kid, and I was always like, God damn it, I can't wait to be like an adult so I can go and do things that I want to go do.
Yeah. Right.
Because I was like ready to leave the house by 10. I mean, I wasn't, but I was like, man, the things that I want to go and do, I'm going to have to wait 8 years to figure this out. I was just so exposed to so much cool stuff. And something like this, man, I would have been like itching to just get out of the house to see it because like, it's so shocking and fantastic,
Yeah, man, they
Love
don't
it.
do it like that anymore.
And I just really love these women being just themselves and like, kind of like fuck the status quo because they're
Yeah.
gonna do it their way. And I just appreciate them very much. Thank you for mothers for setting the tone so I can be a dominatrix today.
Yeah.
I appreciate your art.
And I know there was not that many bands that I can think of doing anything like this, but one of them that was around that time was the Genitorturers. And of course, we had he plays bass in the band, Abby from our show last week is the bass player of the Genitorturers. And I forgot to play this clip that I filmed of them at the Unconvention a couple months ago. They're not doing anything that crazy, but I just wanted to show a little clip of the Genitorturers that I filmed. There's Abby.
What's your name? Let's you walk on. Force to lay. To some. Another 120 dies.
I love that.
Yes.
If
Wow.
you liked that and you missed our last episode, go back and check it out. We have we talk about a little bit the Genitorturers and people from the documentary talking about them to me while I was filming, unprompted. A couple, at least one person talked about the Genitorturers. It was the co-founder of GWAR, Hunter Jackson, actually.
Yeah. I think
And
you
I
mentioned
want
that
to
last week. Yeah. That was pretty cool.
point out that in that Duchess clip I was playing, Robbie Rist, who was describing the Tiny Tim show.
Yeah.
If you close your eyes, you might hear him as Michelangelo from the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles
Oh
movies.
no, was he a voice actor as well? Wow.
Yeah, he was the voice.
Of Michael.
The one that wasn't Corey Feldman.
Oh no, Corey Feldman.
Yeah, he was one of them. And he was also Oliver in the original Brady Bunch as a child. But he's in the documentary because he was in a band with Dukey called the Undead Kennedys, which was a Dead Kennedys tribute band.
Tribute
But they
band,
dressed like zombies and they sang, like Too Dead to Fuck,
That would be cool.
That's Hollywood for you.
Yes, yes. See, this is the part of Los Angeles. Like I grew up in the Los Angeles, county, and my mom tried to get me into commercials and stuff like that when I was a kid. And we drove around. I went to the Ben Nye Makeup Museum and stuff with her when I was like 6. And it's just like I didn't get to enjoy LA like as an adult because I moved away pretty quickly. But
I know you're going back soon.
I'm going back next week.
Oh, I'm so jealous.
I'm going back next week for DomCon. And yeah, and
Which is a
I'm
convention
going to say
of
that. Yeah.
professionals.
It is a convention for professionals for continuing education.
And people who would be interested in all these things that we are talking about tonight.
It's a great way to take your theory and put it into practice, so to say.
The thing, the weirdest, I loved it, but the weirdest thing about it to me was that it's not the entire hotel, so you have like some regular people walking around too, kind of like,
let me tell you,
what the heck is going on?
I went to this really awesome event a while back called International Miss Leather. It's a really great contest weekend for like representing of the women's leather community, and they do like a representative for the entire leather community, and then one for boot blacking, which is we can save it for another episode if you'd like.
Oh, you heard it here first. Scottish Charlotte Lessons is coming back on the VonPod.
Yes. So here you have a whole bunch of mostly women, a lot of queers, and everyone's in leather, and everyone's pretty hard players. Like they really like rough body play, punching, trampling, fun things like that, piercings, and some other things I won't mention here, just in case there are young ears.
You go find her and ask her about that on her other websites.
Yeah, just make sure you're 21 or over, please.
Yes,
But
yes, and I forgot, I should have done this at the beginning of the show, but trigger warning everything.
trigger warning everything. Like this is adult content for adults, and if you're not an adult, then you need to turn it off, or you can continue watching it against your parents' wishes. I have no control over you.
Say or condone anything.
But yeah, no, I even forgot what I was just saying. What was I saying?
We were excited about
Oh,
going
going to this event. I went
to
to
this
the
event that I can't make this year because they changed the date of it. If it was in August, I am planning to come back to LA to do some more filming, and that would have been
That would have
nice.
been like the best time. So here are all these leather queers and me, and there's like a Christian women's makeup convention going on at the same time. Like, I
Wait,
mean, yeah,
really?
like MLM that was very Christian about makeup. I don't know which one. And
Wait, at the con last year?
no,
Or
at International Miss Leather.
oh, okay. So I
Telling you about
forgot
this
we
other event. So here's like
went
a whole
to
bunch
that.
of people wearing leather, a whole bunch of like, sexual deviance and everything like that. Woohoo! And then here's all these Christian ladies wearing their, looking nice and proper and appropriate. But like one of the husbands stuck around and came into the vending area
Yeah,
and
I
was like,
bet.
"Do you guys sell like a vending pass? Because like there's some stuff in there I'd like to shop for." So you never really know. So yeah, it's gonna be fun. They don't do a complete hotel takeover, but
Yeah.
pretty much.
Somebody bring that stuff to
It'll
New
be fun.
York, man, because I don't know why we don't have our own here on this coast.
Well, that's a good question. But as you can see, this hotel has hosted Fangoria before. So I
Yeah.
think they're
They're
like
no
I think they're
they're
into
no
it.
stranger to alternative culture conventions.
Yeah. I mean,
Stephen King was there.
Stephen King was at that event?
Yeah.
At the Fangoria one?
Yeah.
Really?
I don't
Man.
think he was listed on the thing, but I have stories about them meeting him.
Oh, that's
I
cool.
don't think he watched Haunted Garage, but he was there.
He's
Yeah,
missing out.
he was promoting Pet Cemetery at the time, I
Oh
believe.
my God, Pet Cemetery. Oh, that's a classic. Damn. Yeah. So
Well, I don't know if anyone's in the chat, but if you have any questions for a dominatrix, respectful questions for a dominatrix, now is your time to ask them.
yeah.
Because that was or if you have any questions about Haunted Garage or Dukey Fly Swatter, that was my program. I've run all my clips.
Well, thanks so much, Kevin, for having me on. This
Of
has been really
course.
great, and thanks for letting me just like talk your ear off about myself.
Well,
And
thank you. Yeah,
next
this is the
time
kind of
I'll bring
perspective that we want,
next time I'll bring like video footage and photos.
Now
And
you know how this works.
yeah, now I've been a guest on your lovely show, and I will come back with more.
Everybody go find Goddess Charlotte Lashes on all of her other sites. And maybe she'll be popping up there later tonight. We'll see.
Maybe you can also find me on Twitter at Kinky Barbie Domme DOM. They wouldn't let me do the MME at the end, so look me up on Twitter, Instagram, and yeah, and maybe even YouTube. But please don't censor me yet because I haven't even gotten
Right. Oh God. Yeah, YouTube. Don't censor me either.
Yeah, we're just expressing ourselves.
This is commentary on culture. It's very
Yeah,
important.
it's very important that
You
we have.
can't shut us down.
Yeah, you have to have discussion about arts and not just the arts themselves. Otherwise, it would be out of context. So we have to have
Exactly.
these discussions.
Yes.
It makes total sense to me.
And you can find me and this documentary project at dukeydoc.com. That's DUKEYDOC.com. I gotta spell it out so you don't spell it like that Green Day album.
Yeah,
It's a
not that.
different Dukey.
It's you can actually phonetically spell it that way. It's like DUKEY.
That's right.
That's right.
Go, please tell everybody to contribute to my Indiegogo campaign.
Hey folks, if you want to support independent artists, then you need to go to Kevin Vonesper's Indie Gore that's
Right.
supporting the life and slimes of Dukey Fly Swatter and Haunted Garage. Please run, don't walk to. Oh, what is this?
You like that?
Are these some cool?
This is my notebook for the documentary.
Oh, it's art.
It had my calendar. This is like Dukey's entire life.
Organized. Check you out.
Oh yeah, I'm a professional. I know what I'm doing.
I
Well,
love
yeah, and for all you trauma fans, we're going to be interviewing Lloyd Kaufman very soon. He will be in this documentary, the face and co-owner of Trauma, who put out "Serve Nazis Must Die," the '80s exploitation, Nazi exploitation, whatever.
Wow.
Movie with Dukey Fly Swatter.
Oh man.
And The Wrath of
Wait, what
Leroy's
is
mama.
it? A Clockwork Orange meets Mad Max on the
You can
Beat.
read that?
Oh, well, I could read the thing on
Oh.
for a
Oh,
second.
I
And
see it.
Variety.com said that, so you know it's true.
Yeah, and Roger Ebert said it was the worst movie he ever saw.
So that's why you have to see it, because
Yes.
Roger Ebert, you know, like.
And this
But
Blu-ray came out in February. So
oh, so everybody should be owning it now then. It should be in everybody's DVD carousel.
but we're going to talk to Lloyd, who brought the movie to Cannes Film Festival back when it came out in the 80s.
Oh,
Yeah, that's right.
great.
Dukey Fleischwater went to the film. He wasn't there. I'm saying the movie he was in was there.
No, I love that the filmmaker took it all the way to Cannes. Like, that's
Oh,
really
yeah.
cool. Like, that's
In
a
this
serious film.
documentary, we're going all the way to Slime Dance.
We're going all the way to Slime Dance, damn it.
That's my line.
Oh, I love slime dancing. Is that like slime dancing? That's like
Yeah. Yeah.
kidding. That's a really bad joke. Whatever.
I got a comment here. I don't know who this is. I found
see
out
a little
about green jelly, him growing up when my mom got the green jelly VHS from the yard sale. I don't know who this is because it doesn't say your name, but I think you're talking about this VHS right here. This is what started it all. Green Jello's Serial Killer featuring Three Little Pigs, the hit song, gold record, Grammy nominated. Well, their other video was Grammy nominated. And if you have this and you watch this video for the misadventures of Shitman, you will see Dukey Fleischwater turning into this character alongside other members that used to be in Green Jello, including Danny Carey. And we don't know what happened to him. Apparently he is in a band called Tool that started in Green Jelly Studios. And I think he's doing all right. Be in my documentary, Danny.
I think I was reading something about.
They knocked Taylor Swift off the charts.
Yeah.
Number one. In what,
Nice.
2019?
Yes.
That's what happened to the people who were incubating in Green Jelly Studios. Dukey Fleischwater. See, that's the thing about this documentary is Haunted Garage. Bands like Tool and White Zombie, as you saw, Nirvana was supposed to play with them. L7, The Cramps, 45 Grave.
Oh,
Yeah, L7 will be in this documentary. We're going to be filming them when they come around on tour in October. That's the plan. I've talked to them about it, and they're down.
That's
Or at least
great.
one of them. So we'll have some L7 representation. Yeah, all these bands used to play with Haunted Garage. Soundgarden, apparently I can't find a flyer.
Oh, really?
But somebody told
Nice.
me that happened.
Wow.
They were the epicenter of the scene, and all these bands got super big, right after Haunted Garage broke up. So this is a comedy of errors story of a band that never got the due that they should have gotten. That's what we're
But
going to do to them now.
But they gave so much life to so many. I'm not saying that like it's right, I'm just saying that they were such a hotbed of activity for all these other wonderful musical acts. I have to say this reminds me just a teeny tiny bit like the Wrecking Crew. Have you ever seen the documentary The Wrecking Crew?
I don't
About
think
all
so.
the
What's it
session
about?
musicians. It's all the session musicians in LA.
Oh, I've heard
Really
about it.
big.
I haven't seen it.
Really need to see. It's really
Yeah,
good.
I know.
So,
Yeah.
but in a more demented way, punk rock way, and performance art, balls to the wall performance art. That's kind of like what Dukey Fleischwater and Haunted Garage was. They were like a I don't
They
want to say
were the
a
center of the scene.
nursery for like new talent, but they really it seems like they really gave a lot of people their start. So
Yeah, them and Green Jelly, the whole crew, all those people that, I mean,
yeah.
wow. I mean, what if I always say if Haunted Garage lasted one more year, they broke up. They played their last show of that lineup in November 1992. If they had lasted even a couple more months, I think they would be a household name in all these niches.
I think so. I think they were ahead of their time.
They were definitely ahead of their time, and they imploded too soon. And that's what this is about, to giving them the credit that they finally deserve. And I think in this age of streaming and going viral, like it has
Things happen really fast, too fast.
It has
They
the
don't
most potential to
Yeah.
reach the most amount of people than ever before in their career.
Yeah, that's
So
true.
tell your friends about it.
Yeah.
Blow their minds. Be the cool one who saw it first.
Yeah, be the influencer of your
Yes.
friends and
Influencers, hit me up.
spread the good word. Spread the gospel of Dukey, the Dukey gospel.
That's what I always say.
Yes. We love
Yes,
that.
spread the gospel of Dukey. Thank you so much for coming on the show.
Oh, I had such a good time.
Um,
Thank you. Thanks everybody that was watching out there. We
and
appreciate
anyone who
your
catches the replay, because this will live on. I guess
it will live on.
I'm gonna
Oh,
close it
good.
out.
Okay.
I'm gonna close it out with a little mini music video I made for the other side of my career, which is music. And I will see you all next week, hopefully. Bye.
Thanks, Kevin.
Oh, fuck.
Hits. I'm writing hits. Recording hits. I'm making hits. And you don't wanna miss it. Hashtag homemade and DIY. Hits all day, hits all night. Hits for you, hits for me. Hits for Patreon and hits for free. This is a hit that spells it all out. Literally tell you what it's all about. You don't wanna sleep on this, cause every song's a hit. I promise, I'm okay with taking hits. Recording hits. I'm making hits. In mom's basement.
Even though I have written a new hit for our next album called The Ethics Board.